この度テキサス親父日本事務局では800年に一度とも言われているテキサス州南東部を襲い甚大な被害をもたらしたハリケーンハービーの被災者に対する支援のために義援金を募ることにいたしました。いつも日本人の立場で発言してくれるテキサス親父の住むテキサス州での災害です。日頃のテキサス親父の感謝を込めて被災地の方々のご支援にご協力ください。皆様よりお預かりしました義援金はケンタッキーカーネルズ名誉協会を通して被災者の食料その他の支援に使わせていただきます。詳しくは動画解説欄に記載しておりますので皆様方の温かいご支援をよろしくお願いします。
Hi folks. This video is about a gentleman named Johnny Harris who works for VOX.And they post videos on various topics. And on this one particular video, he decided to post the topic in reference to Japanese textbook, book. Notice I said book. He says plural, but he only illustrated one book. Out of all the textbooks in Japan, elementary, middle, high school, and all the prefectures throughout Japan, he found one book that he disagreed with. One.So just because he found that one book in all the books, that's atypical of all of Japan. I'm not agreeing with any of his criticism, but let's go review some of it. He scours through the book, and he finds that the situation in Nanking, China, in the early 1930s, where a lot of people were massacred, he's upset that they noted that in the book.Because they didn't note it the way he wanted it noted. It's noted in the book as the Nanking incident. Really? It should be the Nanking massacre according to him. And it should be blaming the Japanese. I can tell you the reason why they noted it as the Nanking incident. Because what took place there by whom is not so much ironclad. It's rather controversial. Was it the Chinese? Was it the Japanese?So when you don't know what it is, you don't label it, you just call it an incident. That's taking the middle road, which gentlemen like Johnny Harris is not familiar with. Then he brings up the comfort women issue. Thousands, hundreds of thousands were forced into sexual slavery for the Japanese Imperial Army, and they don't mention that in there. Basically, he says, yeah! That's because it's a lie.His version of it. That's why it's not in there. Then he blames or he's critical of what he calls the rising nationalism in Japan. You see, to these leftists, these alt-left people, nationalism is an evil to them. Because nationalism basically is patriotism. How dare you love your country? It's a one world we live in over here.You should love all countries, not just your country. He does not understand that it's not a zero-sum game. Just because I love America, that doesn't mean I do not like other countries. Yes, if you want to call me a nationalist, you call me a nationalist. To me, nationalist comes in here, and what comes out here is patriot. I'm a patriot. You want to say it's a nationalist? That's fine. And it's the same thing with the people in Japan.They are patriots who are being mislabeled, who are being labeled as nationalists with a negative connotation. Per Johnny Harris and people on the extreme left, the alt-left. Then he brings in Prime Minister Abe. He's a nationalist. That's right. He's no good because he's a nationalist. How dare him be the Prime Minister of Japan and love his country? Yeah, that's what it's all about.But then he brings up these two gentlemen here. And he tries to be critical of them, equating them with being nationalists. Let me tell you about these two gentlemen. I know them personally. One of them I spoke at a few conferences with, and the other one we went to the United Nations in Geneva. So I know these gentlemen. There's nothing wrong with their political ideology, except for the fact they're not extreme liberals. They're not alt-left.So he has to equate them with something negative. And let me tell you something. Shun was in contact with one of them, and the premise to the interview, to the video, was totally different than the outcome. This one of them was deceived by, gee, I wonder who, the alt-left. Now let's go on further. This video is 7 minutes and I think 45 seconds. In that short span of time, he managed to be critical of who? President Trump. He's talking about textbooks in Japan, but he manages to drag President Trump into it to be negative. This was worse than watching, well, I shouldn't say that. It was almost, well, how about I say, it was as bad as watching CNN. This alt-left video despises patriotism, manages to drag Donald Trump. That's what this was. It was just a masquerade to be critical of Donald Trump. Very simple. Very simple. I have a link to the video in the description. Please watch it, not on a full stomach. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be in. Oh, and our good friends and trusted allies in the land of the rising sun, Nihongoku, Japan, where you have too many nationalists, well, consider me one of them. Because a nationalist is a patriot, and I'm a patriot. Doesn't mean by being a patriot you dislike another country. See ya.